Lee's title's in jeopardy, Balor presses his luck, and Gargano looks to prove that he is not the weakest link.
That's the game. I'm the host. He is not Vanna White, and this is NXT. Welcome, everybody, to What's NXT for June 24th, 2020. I'm your host, the Rated R Reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General, Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And, we were so hyped for this show.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned not to do that anymore.
Yeah.
This show was really good, but damn, it was not what I expected it to be.
No.
We start that entire process off at the very beginning of the night with Cameron Grimes shown outside. Obviously, there's Damian Priest's car in the background, but we don't know quite what's going on yet, except that Cameron Grimes is like...
super happy.
Yeah, he's got that high-pitched voice going. And he's just saying, that poor Damian Priest, something like that. And they run up to the car, and Damian Priest is laid out, like splayed, half in his car, half out, one boot on, one boot off kind of thing. His guts is hurting. He says his lower back. Of course it's his lower back. Last week we got that leapfrog that just for some reason tweaked his lower... It was going to be the weakest injury angle I have ever... Anyway. The fun part of this is that our first scheduled event of this show is a match. And which match? Cameron Grimes versus Damian Priest, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So Cameron Grimes skips on out to the ring. He's so fucking happy. He gets on a mic. He's like, well, you know, this is what happens.
Damian Priest is injured. Can't wrestle. Give me the match.
Yeah, yeah. You know, he just keeps having this huge streak of bad luck.
Natural disaster. Ain't my fault.
His tires lose all their air pressure. He fucking hurts his back parking his car. And I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck parking space is that? Like, he's got premier parking space.
Yes, he does.
He's like loading zone only parking space. Seriously. Anyway.
Good morning, Nate Spain.
My chat room again is not loading. I apologize, folks, but we are here for you. Yeah, Nate Spain. What's up, dude? So, Cameron Grimes comes out and he just assumes that he's going to win this match via count out. He begs the ref to come out and do so. Instead, Damian Priest comes out, not down the ramp. He's coming from wherever he was to the front, or trainer's room, I'm assuming, because he is taped up. Big time. We're talking DDP levels of rib tape. I don't know if you guys remember that 8 months that DDP's ribs were all broken. And he wrestled with broken ribs for 8 months. But that was a big time in WCW. Oh my god! Because every match he wrestled, what happened? His tape got ripped off.
Yep.
Or it got torn to the point to where it was just this really loose white belt around his waist. But anyway, Priest comes out despite a bunch of personnel trying to keep him from doing so. He gets in the ring. He tells the ref to ring the bell. And I mean, if the doctor has not gotten an opportunity to officially analyze him and say that he's not okay to wrestle, then what can you do, right?
That's right.
He did analyze him long enough to put tape around his midsection. I would think you would know what was going on before you did that.
Maybe he's an Old West kind of doctor, you know.
Let him handle their beef. Go do you, man.
We'll give him an earwig.
Turns out he should not have gone and done him. His ribs were hurt to the point to where, like, last week, we could see him beating Killian Dane, even though when he was 100%, they had a longer match, and he had to fight his way through it, and then this match, he just turned it around and kind of won there at the end. But whatever. We let it go.
We did.
against Cameron Grimes with this level of injury where we didn't even see what happened. But I assume by the way he was laying in his car that he got attacked on his way out, and then Grimes slammed the door
Yeah.
into his gut, which would have been, I would have loved to have seen that. And
They probably tried to film it a whole bunch of times.
I like gory movies too, so forgive me. Anyway.
Well, you had to have a little bit of believability there, and it'd be really like great to actually physically watch Cameron Grimes take out Damian Priest in a parking lot.
Well, we got to see him basically take him out in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He attacks the ribs, of course, but of course Damian Priest.
You're just calling for Insta finisher at this point. You were just begging for it.
I mean, it's Cameron Grimes. When was the last time you've had anybody have that number of insta finishes? I would say he's at what, 3?
Yeah.
I think one of the 3 was not straight up. It wasn't right into the finisher, but it was like
close enough
off
to
of a
it.
dodge back into it kind of thing. Like, yeah, I would still call it an insta finish. Yeah, dude, nobody's had that kind of success that quick in a match that many times in. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Even some of these big guys that they take their time and put on a proper 35-second squash match, you know? Like,
I would say Priest gets in a little bit of offense, but not really enough. And he even tries to go for Razor's Edge on the outside of the ring, and that doesn't pan out for him at all either. So.
Well, Bronson Reed had what ostensibly was a squash match last week, but even he got 3 moves in before he finished. And the match was more than a minute long. Cameron Grimes has no problem running up on a motherfucker, caving him into the mat, and pinning him right there and leaving.
Yep.
Job done. Anyway, that's not what he does here. Priest gets some offense. I mean, he's a babyface now, apparently. This just happened. He got beat by Finn Balor, and now he's a babyface.
Yep.
He does hit a choke bomb, even though it takes him two attempts, and it hurts his guts to do so. But off the choke bomb, Grimes rolls under the apron, or rolls onto the apron, gets out, tries to leave. Let's see. He gets out and chases him. I think Grimes hit something, but he ends up spearing Grimes into the apron. And then picks him up and tries to do a Razor's Edge outside. I don't know why. For one, I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to do it outside, because even if you do it outside, you still got to roll him back in the ring and pin him. 2, I don't know why he thought that was a good idea anyway, considering his back situation.
I think he was just looking to hurt him. He wasn't even looking to win the match at that point.
Well, because of the back situation, Grimes slips out of it, and he runs up and hits him with a cave-in outside. Picks him up, throws him back in the ring. He sets up for a cave-in on the inside, goes for it as soon as Priest gets up, but Priest dodges it, gets out of the way, but his back still hurts. He's still trying to get up, technically. He just kind of dodged the first one. He did not dodge the second one, though. He gets fucking planted.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Cameron Grimes gets the victory.
A whole bunch of ass to the face.
Fucking, yeah, dude. He stacks him up. Like, he sits on his face and then pulls both legs. Anyway, he wins. He leaves.
So this feud is pretty much
doesn't
far
need a
from
mic.
over.
He's screaming his victory the whole way back.
Yeah.
What now?
We're going to see another match between the two. Chances are Damian Priest is going to take time off, and he's going to come back for it. So.
He may not even take time off. We'll definitely see the rubber match.
I was about to say, where does Grimes go from here until Damian Priest actually recovers from probably whatever injury he has?
Well, our main event in the evening will decide the North American champion.
Yeah.
That title is going to be sort of held up for the next 2 weeks, waiting on the title versus title match. In that vein, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So honestly, I hope they pick somebody that he matches good with in the ring, that he can have an honest to goodness feud with.
It'd be cool for him to actually.
And I hope they write it well.
It'd be cool if they actually got the belt off of Santos Escobar and had him go after a cruiserweight belt. I'm pretty sure he fits the limit.
Maybe. I don't think they should take the title off of Santos
Oh,
Escobar.
I don't want that either, but I'm saying somewhere down the line, because right now I'm loving the cartel.
I don't know. I don't know about Grimes the 205 division, mostly because not because I want to protect him from lower class of event. It's not main event. It's early event. Anyway, I don't want to necessarily protect him from the pre-show. I want to protect the pre-show from him.
Yep.
The 205 Live division is very quick and high flying, and though he can do high flying moves, I don't want him to have to develop some cruiserweight style. I like him as him, but I think it kind of poisons the division a little.
I'm going to retract that statement though too, because I really like him facing off against these heavyweights and actually making them his bitch. So, North American title or bust.
So maybe in a few weeks they could set him up for an NA title run, but not yet.
That'd be great.
Till then, I just hope whoever they pair him with after. Well, it might take a few weeks before him and Priest are done. So maybe they have a match in 2 weeks, the same time that the title match is, and then
maybe a number one contenders match for a North American title.
That would be sweet.
That'd be a good match.
But they wouldn't put Grimes over Priest, though. Not in that situation.
Would you make that into a ladder match and have the contract be up there?
If you're gonna, do it with more than 2 people.
Yeah. Oh, like the first ever North American title match.
I can't remember the last time I saw a ladder match that was 1-on-1.
Yeah.
That was all that exciting. Because those moves take a lot out of those guys, and they have to spend some time recuperating. And at least with 3 people, you give one person at a time the opportunity to recuperate a little bit while the other 2 dance in the ring and can continue the pace. 1-on-1, ladder matches get kind of slow and uninteresting at times.
Well, maybe it could be like a 5-pack challenge like they did that one time for...
I don't care what it is as long as it's 3 or more.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If it's a ladder match. Otherwise, I don't know about a ladder match. I'd like to see him do something that hasn't been done in a while. Maybe something I can't even think of, but
don't say beat the
just
clock.
do a fucking elimination, a multi-man elimination match.
That'd be great.
Instead of first to a pinfall. I always hated first to a pinfall.
Like maybe a 5 or 6-pack challenge, but then just have the elimination.
Or a gauntlet match.
Nah, gauntlet matches are weak, man.
Yeah, but Raw has put on some amazing gauntlet matches.
And the female one they had for NXT for their number one contender for women's.
When was the last time they had a male gauntlet match on NXT?
They haven't. That'd probably work out.
And it's a great way to build in heat because of the order that you send the guys out to wrestle. Mm-hmm. So I like that idea.
Okay, make it happen, WWE.
For the NA title number 1 contendership. Meanwhile, Rhea Ripley, she's showing up earlier, and Robert Stone approaches her, and God, this guy doesn't know when to stop.
Well,
he said Aaliyah has officially signed with the Robert Stone brand, and he normally doesn't give second chances, but he dusts off an invisible golden ticket. He's giving Rhea Ripley a second chance to join the Robert Stone brand. And she proceeds to punch him in the gut and
throw him in the dumpster.
And throw him in an even bigger garbage receptacle than she did the first time.
I was about to say, that garbage receptacle he got thrown into that first time, that looked painful because it was so small. This one was more cushy. I don't know why everybody's complaining.
Because there's probably a cafeteria in that place. And if so, he could have just got dumped into a giant vat of leftover SpaghettiOs, man. Like, seriously, why ruin a good shirt? Anyway, Leah comes to stick up for him. Like, where was she when all of the talk was going on? Like, she was just standing by the doors like, fine, I'll wait here. Mm-hmm. It would have been more impressive to say, look, I've only been solo for 3 weeks. I've already signed somebody. Mm-hmm. Somebody off a hot win. Anyway,
the only thing hot off that win was the vomit that was spewed into the ring.
Leah with the good old fashioned, how dare you? That's my manager. Slaps Rhea in the face, and I swear to God, immediately, like the slap, the sound from the slap, because we all know sound travels slower than light. The sound from the slap hadn't even reached Aaliyah, and her face was like, "Oh shit, I just made a mistake." She cowered. And she doesn't get beat down here. Rhea's like, you know what? You just signed your golden ticket to meet me in the ring. And we are going to get that match tonight. Not yet, but we are going to get it. Meanwhile, part 3, Thatch Can Wrestling. We learn the half Boston Crab, the single leg, and the Kimura lock. And we get to hear guys screaming and tapping and him not letting go. Apparently, Thatch Can means I'm going to injure you a few times before you graduate. Apparently. Because that's kind of all this is. These are very basic holds. He is not putting any Thatch, like...
There's no pizzazz.
There's no Thatchness to this, other than the fact that he won't let it go and he's torturing these recruits. Anyway, he lines them up, and they're all hobbling to get in a line, and he dismisses them. Basically. They just want to show that he's been, like, hurting people's legs, apparently. He said, the important thing here is we all had fun. He had fun torturing these cats. Anyway,
I like this. I like the whole sadistic nature of Thatcher in this role, but I'm just wondering where it's going to lead to from here.
I don't know. It gives them something to do that's different from what they normally do. So, speaking of Santos Escobar, a few minutes ago at least, that's some kind of segue. Santos Escobar comes out with Joaquin Wilde, with Raul Mendoza.
Looking badass.
And he is ready for a match. He is facing the guy that we thought was going to turn on Drake Maverick and join Escobar. Apparently we're wrong. Jake Atlas.
Still may down the line. We don't know.
So this match was not for the title.
Nope.
Wouldn't have mattered either way. Atlas wasn't going to win. This is essentially a 3-on-1 situation. He does his best, but I mean,
sometimes your best just isn't good enough.
Like, at one point, he kicks at Raul from the apron, but, like, he was just there to distract. He completely misses him, turns around, and gets knocked off the apron into the glass, dude, laid out. This probably was right before a commercial break. But holy crap, dude. He flew, not into the railing, not into the guard. He cleared the guard and smacked the glass. Anyway, I'm surprised the glass didn't tip over and he go with it. There must have been 3 or 4 dudes over there to be like, we got it. Anyway, come back from commercial break. He hits a standing moonsault onto Escobar, which looked really great. Didn't get him a pinfall. He comes out of that and jumps off onto the apron and does a moonsault off of the middle turnbuckle to the outside to take out the thugs, as I'm calling them, I guess. Gets back in the ring. He hits Escobar with what I'm calling the Ambrose DDT. That inverted DDT where he goes forward with it. I don't know if that's his finisher, but he doesn't get a pinfall.
It's pretty much a headlock driver.
There you go. That's what it was. Escobar kicks out. And then Atlas goes up top. I guess he was going for what would be his finisher. He seems to be a 205 kind of guy. And Escobar catches him up top, pulls him off, knees him in the head while he's up on his shoulders, and then hits that Phantom Driver.
I like that setup, though. Like, it just discombobulates him that much more before he nails the move. Because
he kind of really didn't. I don't think he hit anything too devastating while Atlas was on the ropes in the corner.
No, he just basically pulled him off.
Just pulled him off from the seated position on the top.
And it's like, hey, for good measure, knee to the face.
Yep, pins him and leaves. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to enter part 2 of Roderick Strong's therapy. His problem with being junk in a trunk.
They're putting the era in therapy.
My favorite part of this was when he finally realized it was Kyle O'Reilly. And
because Kyle O'Reilly is such a great actor.
He says, I'm researching a role as a crime-fighting psychotherapist.
Yes, psychotherapist.
Anyway, Roderick Strong has had a breakthrough. He's ready to conquer the trunk. Let's go do this. He says, last time he thought about going into the trunk, and he just kept seeing Dexter Loomis's face, and he turned and he ran. And every time he thought about stopping, he couldn't stop running because he just saw Dexter Loomis staring at him. He just keeps seeing Dexter Loomis staring at him. And tonight, they're going to force Dexter Loomis to stare at him because even though he got through the trunk.
He got through the trunk just fine.
They put him in the trunk. They shut the lid on 2 instead of 3. That was smart. And they let him out, and he's conquered the trunk, sort of. I don't know. But they're going to put him in the ring with Dexter Loomis tonight so he can conquer, that. Because otherwise, what's he going to do? Anyway, we get a video recap of the tag title match last week that ended in, it was a pinfall victory, but it was still kind of squirrely at the end because we had Indu Sher come out, kind of looking on, but then Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, the pisser and the shitter, they run down and attack them. This is all one big distraction that ends up, leading to the mistaken pinfall on the not legal man into the DDT that put the pinfall for the champions to retain the titles. Malcolm Bivens is pissed, though, because he said they were just down there to see who was going to be the next champs.
Yeah.
And suddenly Lorcan and Burch attack him like a couple of thugs, and they have some words for them.
Pistivity.
I would, yeah. He's so pissed off his pistivity. Wait, was that the word?
There's a whole other level of pistivity.
Yeah, whole over the highest level of pistivity.
Yes.
I would tell you what their words to Lorcan and Burch were, but they said them in a different language, folks. I can't translate. He gave the microphone to Rinku and Saraf, and they said some stuff. And so I guess
I wouldn't be shocked if Limey Fuck is somewhere in between, somewhere in there at some point. Limey Fuck.
I am super into this idea because I think they want to push Indu Sher, and I am not a fan of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. So let them take one for the team, yo.
I think they did that video package for Lorcan and Burch that looked like it was going to be setting them up for Imperium, but at the same time, I think at that point...
they lost, and they gave it to Fabrizio.
No, I only think it's that. I think it's the fact that once they aired that ad or the promo and realized that nobody still gave a shit about Lorcan and Burch, and they just completely scrapped it.
Maybe. Meanwhile, video package for the Triple Threat tonight. Super long video package. They said they were going to go in depth, and normally when there's fresh promos, I would make a few notes on what some of these guys are saying, but holy shit.
It was just all rehash.
Oh my god. So that was that. If you're really interested, I'm sure they've got a clip of it. Go watch.
Yeah, go watch it.
Meanwhile, Kacy Catanzaro comes out, not for a singles match. Caden Carter comes out with her. We know who they're facing. Dakota Kai, Raquel, Gonzalez, Reina, whatever.
I still like Reina better.
Dude, she's growing on me, man.
Yeah.
She's getting hotter and hotter. Not the looks-wise. Everybody knows I'm a pig, but that's not what I'm talking about in this case. Her finisher delivery this evening was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. I've got other notes for this match. What did you think about it?
It's pretty much just another way of getting Kai and Gonzalez over further as heels, and they're doing a great job with the team. If anything, I could actually see them moving up somewhere down the line and actually challenging for the women's tag titles, but that's also because there's really no women's tag division.
This is true. Let's see. I've got a few notes here for Caden Carter. She hits this what I call the low big boot. But this is where Dakota Kai is like leaning on the ropes, but not in the corner, like in between, like trying to get up. And Caden Carter runs off the ropes and does this diving boot to her face that sends her through the ropes halfway outside. And that was super cool looking. She doesn't get a pinfall off it or nothing. She gets a near fall, but no pinfall. Let's see. We see her try to do these leaps into Hurricane Rana. She executes the first one. I think it's a roll up with it, but on the second one, Raquel catches her, and this was Casey Catanzaro. She catches her midair, holds her up, and then sees that was it Caden Carter's coming at her, so she kicks her in the face, and then from sitting on her shoulder, basically, takes Casey up with one arm, not two, one. From there,
that's one less than two. Is one
single arm power bomb. It was just so impressive looking, and I know Casey is like 80 pounds.
Wow, we both the same weight. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, I said 80 pounds like a week or two ago, but anyway, she looks like she's built like a kid. Like she looks like she should be wearing a diaper. She's like a toddler. Anyway, it was still impressive. And then instead of getting the pinfall, though, Gonzalez tags in Kai to finish the match, who comes in and does what you have deemed the Cobra Kai. I'm calling sort of an inverted grapevine Rings of Saturn kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rings of Saturn with the legs, but she's upside down. Uses the arms in a reverse guillotine to pull the head away from the shoulders. And yeah, Casey taps out. Let's see. After match, though, Dakota Kai gets on the mic, or maybe she just gets in the face of the camera, and she calls out Io Shirai. She says her and her title are in Dakota Kai's crosshairs.
And we learn more about this later. Nice big old bag of foreshadowing.
Well, I'm thinking, why wouldn't the tag titles be in Kai and Raquel Gonzalez's crosshair? Anyway. Yeah.
I think if it weren't already on heels, it probably would be, but right now they had to do something with Kai, and why not have her go after Io Shirai? It rhymes and everything.
Well, we are mid-show at this point, so I think it is time for us to do our taste test.
Yeah.
We've got these, I brought these down from Pennsylvania. I'm sure you could probably get them at most Walmarts, but we've got Goya Coconut Soda. And let me read you guys the ingredients for this, because I was like flabbergasted. There's 4 ingredients. Water, well, carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, artificial coconut flavor, and citric acid, and that is it. I don't know if I've ever drank anything with this few ingredients other than water. But we're going to try these things, and this might be awful. I have a love-hate relationship with coconut. Some coconut things are like the best, like Almond Joys without the almonds. But
no smell.
Yeah, I don't smell anything.
Hey, that's not bad. Tastes kind of creamy.
It does taste super creamy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not tasting the coconut, though. Maybe it's because of all the Listerine mint.
Probably, because I definitely taste the coconut. Oh, wow.
Without being able to taste the coconut, I would say it tastes like a very light cream soda.
It tastes like the Liquid Mountains.
With the chocolate and everything?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it does. Okay, so let's move on. Karrion Kross with Scarlett, who is just, oh my God. She's wearing a long jacket but super tiny shorts. Like,
she's in a short skirt and a long jacket.
And I guess her continuing theme here is going to be the Catwoman gloves, because she's got these black gloves on that you can tell at the end of them they've got these like metal nails, much like the Catwoman character in Batman Returns. And she's no longer singing with the beginning of his entrance music, but she is shouting the kneel and pray. Is it kneel and pray?
Fall and pray.
Fall and pray.
Fall and pray.
And she's still doing the crazy antics when the music gets heavy and the...
But by that time, the camera is just about fixated on Kross anyway, so you just kind of see her kind of bounce around in the background just enough, and then does the thing between his legs and comes up.
Still stupid looking. Anyway, waist to her. Anyway, He is facing, like we knew, Bronson Reed, who comes out, and other than the one stomp on the steps that, for some reason, gets the camera to move, uh,
Mastiff does it the entire time.
he
Level up.
he basically heads straight to the ring, goes right for Karrion Kross, and he gets a few good shots in. Karrion comes back, he comes back. Karrion comes back, he comes back. After a few trade-offs, he hits an enziguri to the side of Kross's head, picks him up, and lands a German suplex. But all that does after Kross rolls through is make him get up pissed off. A German suplex hulks up Karrion Kross. So apparently, when Matt Riddle left, his power of hulking up after a German suplex and getting pissed off transferred to Karrion Kross. Because he didn't do this before. Granted, we didn't see anybody German suplex him, but still.
And that's what this match was for. We've already seen him like take out these guys that are like maybe half his size. So we needed to see somebody either bigger than him or about his same size and see what he can actually do to them. And
we needed to see him get thrown around and still be able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
He hits a Northern Lights, floats over, picks him up into a, well, not really a ripcord, but he still pulls him into a lariat. And then picks him up into that Doomsday Saito.
Yep, Saito suplex.
And then locks on the cross jacket.
And that's it.
That's it. Tap out. Done. Moving on.
What bothers me about this is there's no follow-up now to the whole Hourglass thing.
Well, okay, he did do something, like signal or something, and I think Morrow said announced that he was referencing Adam Cole and his time.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess I think they're still following up on it.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's just, you know, they've got so... I'm starting to really dig this. They've got so many storylines going, and some characters crossing over and intertwining into others, you know, for title situations and shit like that. But, like, they've got things going, you know, they've got him and Reed going as this mini thing, but still he's pointing at Cole, you know, after delivering the Hourglass. Like, love it. Moving on. Interview with Adam Cole. Mackenzie wants to know about his thoughts on the triple threat match for the North American Champion, and does he have a preference as to who, you know, might win the match, move on, face him in 2 weeks?
He'll beat anybody.
He said an ordinary person would probably tell you they'd want the weakest person, or the person that they're more likely to be able to take advantage of their weaknesses, something like that. He said, but he is not normal, and he really doesn't care.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who wins. Same outcome. He is going to beat them and be champ, baby.
Champ, baby.
Champ, baby. Which I think is kind of dumb sound. I get why he says it, but I think it's kind of dumb.
It's gonna be a T-shirt. It's already a thing.
Video promo for Mercedes
Martinez. I am psyched for Mercedes to come because we haven't really had the tough chick thing since Shayna Baszler left. So.
Sure, okay.
What is Shayna Baszler doing now?
Well, you know, you said we don't have a tough chick, but then Rhea Ripley comes out. I mean,
yeah,
she comes out.
Even then, she's all smiley now.
Well, she's a baby face, but she's still a tough chick.
Yeah. She's
facing Aaliyah, who officially comes out with Robert Stone this time. He is there to help out, and he proves it. But before I talk about that, what were your thoughts on this little match here?
Anybody who thought Aaliyah was going to win this match is dumb. But at the same time, Robert Stone is becoming one of the like comedic high points of NXT at this point. Cameron Grimes is way up there, but Robert Stone and all of his suffering and everything has just been terrific. But yeah, he's a shoo-in for Manager of the Year.
Nate Spain said Karrion Kross tapped his wrist. Yeah, that's what I was referencing. And Colin Andrews says, why do I see Kross getting involved in the champion versus champion match and it end up being a triple threat winner take all down the line? I could see him getting involved and it being a disqualification, which means both guys keep their belt, and then him moving on one-on-one against Adam Cole. I don't see...
Can it happen in a winner take all match?
why would either guy want to do that with a dude that's coming in not putting anything up on the line?
That's true.
Maybe singles matches against either, but honestly, I'd rather see Cameron Grimes. Wouldn't it be amazing if Cameron Grimes de-seated Keith Lee?
That wouldn't shock me, yet it would shock me at the same time.
But if Cross is going to go after Cole one-on-one, please. Otherwise, let Keith Lee win, and then Cross goes after Keith Lee, because it wasn't about Adam Cole, it was about the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And now it will be two of them. Although, I don't know if you would put them both on the line every time you defend. That would be... we'll see.
I think he'll have to defend one or the other.
I think it's more likely that we see him get involved, disqualification, both guys keep their individual titles, and neither guy leaves with both.
That'd be such a cop-out.
Oh, I highly expect at this point, after thinking about it, I highly expect to be disappointed by that very ending.
Pretty much the time's going to run out, and that's when he's going to interfere.
Because that really backs you into a corner booking-wise when you put both of your men's titles on one guy.
Mm-hmm. So you think maybe last shot to the back of like the champ's head, and then just go from there.
Maybe he's near the ropes, so if Cole can go for a pinfall, it may or may not have worked out for him. Meanwhile, Cross gets in the ring and disturbs the match.
Yeah.
Or other way around, Big Black Cock for a near fall because Cross gets in and disturbs the match.
But onward to the next match.
Onwards and upwards. Rhea Ripley, man. So she hits what I call the medium boot because she hits it to Aaliyah, but she's not standing. She's like on her knees. Giggity. And picks her up and locks in the prism trap. But while she's doing this, Robert Stone is on the outside taking his loafer off. He's wearing shoes with no socks. Anyway, he takes it off, gets up on the apron, and throws his shoe at Rhea Ripley.
You fight like a woman!
Doesn't make her drop the move necessarily until the ref gets distracted by the shoe. And even on commentary, I think Beth said, "Who throws a shoe?" Honestly. That was great. Closest thing without Nigel around that they're going to get.
God, that would have been so great for him to be around for that.
Who throws a shoe? Anyway, shoe didn't work. Rhea Ripley gets pissed, though. She starts chasing him. He's running with one shoe on, one shoe off. Anyway, she chases him around the ring. He gets in. She chases him out. And then Aaliyah goes for the cheap roll-up, but Rhea's not having it. She holds onto the ropes, turns around, kicks Aaliyah in the fucking thigh. And I swear to God, Aaliyah's got a bruise there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, she woke up with a fucking stone bruise on her. Anyway, kicks her in the thigh, picks her up, riptide, 1, 2, 3. She wins, match is over. Sucks to be Robert Stone right now. Although, not as bad as last week. At least he has a client now.
Yeah.
Who's willing to smack Rhea Ripley in the face for him.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. And we go to commercial and come back right into another match. This might be the first time this has happened in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was super weird. Because we're going to commercial and they said, up next, Dexter Lumis versus Roderick Strong.
You should come
like,
back to another promo.
Yeah,
or...
you know, interview with somebody that just showed up for some reason or some shit. No, dude. We come back from commercial right into the entrances. Dexter Lumis comes out, super creepy, as always. I get kind of pissed because somebody in the crowd shouted something during the first 10 seconds of his entrance.
Just kills the vibe.
Dude, I was like, man, that guy needs to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there should have been some sort of memo to all these guys when Dexter Lumis comes out. You shut the fuck up. That's how you make it creepy. Because even a rowdy audience would know.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, Lumis comes out. Strong comes out with Bobby Fish. As I predicted, no Adam Cole. They're not going to mix Adam Cole
or O'Reilly.
Up. Well, yeah, but we knew O'Reilly's not around right now. You know, they had to go find him wherever the fuck he's shooting to do those fucking trunk, what do you call them, vignettes.
Those wouldn't get old.
Nate Spain said, I did not think she was going to win until the end when it looked like it was going to be a screwy finish. I mean, I was hoping Aaliyah would win because I figured, Aaliyah needs this, Robert Stone needs this. But actually, it makes sense the way it went down. But we will talk about that later because we've got more to talk about with that when it comes up. So I'll drop my thoughts here in a moment because that's right after this match. But I want to talk about this match because Roderick Strong comes out and it's just the best because the whole way down to the ring, getting into the ring, bell rings. He can't even lock up with Loomis because he can't look at Loomis in the face. he can't stare into his eyes because it's creeping him out. So after like one or two unsuccessful attempts at locking up, he just gets out of the ring and walks around for a minute. Then Loomis starts stalking him around the ring, and then he's like, you know what? Fuck this. And he leaves. Because I think he goes to, let's see.
He goes to dive out the crowd.
He goes to run. I guess he wasn't paying attention, and Loomis comes around the corner of the ring. He sees him, and he goes to run from him, turns around, runs, dude, like Looney Tunes and shit, runs smack into the hockey glass. Just runs into the wall of his own accord. Realizes he is in over his head here, and that's where he packs his shit and gets the fuck out of Dodge. He runs to the back, and Fish is just like, what the fuck, man?
He's just hanging out like too close to the ring.
You just beat this guy like a month ago. He tried to counter the Walls of Jericho, and instead Roderick Strong sat down during the spin out. And stacked him up and got a pin. Like, what's your problem? Well, the problem is Dexter Loomis is like fucking creepy Bennett. So while Fish is wondering what the hell's going on, or why Roderick Strong is being such a chicken shit, Dexter Loomis reaches through the ropes and snatches him up in that fucking vice.
He
holds it on for a minute.
He hooked the fish.
Yeah, he hooked the fish. Fish gets out, he goes running, and we move on to...
You think we're going to get that probably soon now?
I hope so.
Because I think we're pretty much done with Roderick for right now.
I hope by the end of this he is in both of their heads, and eventually Velveteen Dream's got to get involved. I'm hoping that this turns into a feud between the two teams. Obviously, O'Reilly won't be around for a minute. And then Velveteen Dream and Dexter Loomis win, and because they win, they don't even plan on teaming up anymore, but William Regal decides that since they beat the former champions, they should get an opportunity at the tag titles. They win the tag titles, and now they're stuck together. And there you go. So here's where we get Robert Stone, the follow-up. He is on a Skype call with William Regal. He is demanding a rematch.
They want a rematch. He keeps on saying they want a rematch.
But he's not saying what he thinks he's saying.
Yeah.
Because Regal takes it as, well, the chick that punched you in the nuts last week and threw you in a garbage can, and then punched you in the gut this week and threw you in a garbage dumpster, she might want to punch you for real next week and pin you. So he's making a 2-on-1 handicap match against Rhea Ripley, Robert Stone and Aaliyah versus her, and I'm like, wow. They're finally broaching into intergender matches. Not intergender tag team matches, not mixed tag, where Robert Stone might actually lock up with Rhea Ripley and they might exchange some moves and shit. This ought to be interesting. He, however, says that's not enough. If they're going to do this, he wants Rhea Ripley to be contractually obligated to join the Robert Stone brand when she loses. And
Regal's like, I can't make that happen.
I can't authorize that. Like I can't force it. But Rhea Ripley's been listening, and she catches them over their shoulders. I don't know if I saw a surprise reaction out of him or not. Probably would have been funny.
Robert Stone just had stone face. He's like...
She says that's fine with her. She's so confident that she could beat the both of them together at the same time that she is willing to risk being forcibly recruited to the Robert Stone brand.
So this could be like, if she does lose, this could also bring back in Chelsea Green.
Could. I would love to see Robert Stone forcibly take Rhea Ripley and have Aaliyah. You know, Rhea Ripley, of course, would be, you know, kind of against doing anything to help them, but maybe eventually she's like, you know what, I'm kind of stuck here. Might as well help my new forced friends. And Aaliyah starts winning.
Kind of like when Daniel Bryan had to join up with the Wyatts.
That was all for. Okay, yeah, it's for the overall in-game plan.
Yep.
It takes 6 hours to get to.
Yep.
Fuck you, Marvel. Anyway, nothing was worse.
Second in-game reference that we've actually made today.
Nothing was worse, movie theater experience-wise, than making it to the end of the first of the two-parter. What was it?
Infinity War?
Yeah. Making it to the end of Infinity War only to realize it wasn't a one-movie thing. Mm-hmm. And I was going to have to wait a year or more to see another movie that was again going to have to sit through 3 hours of with a soda, trying not to have to pee and miss something. Because you can't pause it in the theater. Anyway, I do miss the theater. So this is in stone. Yeah. Rhea Ripley versus Robert Stone and Aaliyah. If Ripley loses, she joins the team. I'd love to see, yeah, like I said, a nice little faction here, or even a women's tag team. That would be great, even if Ripley carries them through it, trying to get the belts. But still, Chelsea Green, meanwhile, hasn't had a match or been seen on television since she dropped Robert Stone. I'd love to see her be like, I'd love to have you back, and him be like, I'd love to take you back, but my hands are kind of full.
Yeah, it's like, I have, like, the future of women's wrestling, and I have the greatest women's wrestler that we have in the sport right now. Why do I need you?
I have the future and the present. Mm-hmm. I don't need my past.
There you go.
There you go.
Very bitchy thing to say, and it would come perfectly out of him.
So, we are almost to the main event, but you know what this means. What it means every week. Before we sign off, we are going to remind you of why you need to watch this show next week. Mm-hmm. So, next week, Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match. This explains Dakota Kai's statement from earlier. She's going to be in this. This is a #1 Contenders match for the Women's Championship. Mm-hmm. Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox, Candice LeRae, and Mia Yim. And will we ever see the end of either of these feuds?
No.
Jerry, who you got next week in this?
LeRae.
Oh,
LeRae's gonna totally win this match, so we can get her versus Io Shirai again, but the roles reversed, not with the heel in the face.
And for the title?
Yes.
Yes, please.
That would be superb. That and it also would pave the way for, like, you know, if for some reason I won't even say upsets, but if she does win against Shirai, it's only going to make Gargano, like her cheerleader, make him even more obnoxious.
So I agree, Candice LeRae, but for the sake of a bet or placing, even though we don't get points for it, just to be different, I'm going to say Dakota Kai, because she's really the only one of these four that got an opportunity to say something live tonight about it. Call out Io Shirai.
And she's got her ace in the hold as Raquel.
It's a fatal 4-way. There are no rules.
Yep.
Except pinfall and submission.
That's
it. First to get it wins, which, again, I hate, but whatever.
What do you guys think in the chat room? Let us know.
Nate Spain says it's going to be either Kai or LeRae. Well, thanks for agreeing with both of us and not taking a side. You flip-flopping bastard, Nate Spain. Okay. Also next week, Dexter Lumis versus Roderick Strong again. But to keep Roderick Strong from running the fuck away, they're going to strap him to Dexter Lumis. Strap match, ladies and gentlemen, next week on NXT. Here's the thing, though. It's not just these matches. It's not just... there's a couple other things. It's Robert Stone and Aaliyah versus Rhea Ripley. It's not just all of this. It's also... the Great American
Bash.
Yeah, the Great American Bash. So they're going to coin next week's episode of NXT on USA as the Great American Bash. Jerry had this idea. He wanted the Bash at the Beach, but AEW owns that.
I brought up the question to Aaron Rift on his Q&A video, like, since War Games has already become a thing, and In Your House was actually, you know, very nostalgia heavy. If he thought any of their old pay-per-views can be brought back, and sure enough, Great American Bash.
Great American Bash. I would love to see, because they've already done 2 versions of Starrcade, neither which was broadcast. I think the second one had a few matches broadcast, but not all of them. I would love to see, the next one that they do be Starrcade. There's already precedent.
I'm with Rift on this though. Bring back that 3-level steel cage match, and let's see what happens with that.
Nate Spain says, I can't wait to see what they do with the Bash. I guess it's 2 weeks long now. I don't know what that means. 2 weeks long.
Yeah, because it's gonna probably start this next week, and then probably roll over to that next week.
They're doing 2 weeks of the Bash at the Beach.
Bash at Great American Bash. It only makes
Great American Bash. My bad.
You would think the Great American Bash would be that next week with
the title match.
Yeah, with the title match being. But maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're splitting it into 2 nights, like you just said.
Or maybe they're hyping up next week because there's no title match and they need something. Because there's not. There's a number 1 contenders match, but there's no title match.
Well, let's 24/7 champion shows up.
However, tonight there is a title match. We've got a triple threat. Welcome to the main event, folks. Keith Lee defending the North American Championship against Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. And this was...
Who didn't think this match was going to be good?
Good.
It was good.
I will call it good.
Yes.
Very solidly good. Great? I was expecting great.
Yeah, we were expecting great, but we got good. And there's a couple moments in the match that kind of surprised me, like Finn Balor laying the plancha to the outside and actually knocking over Keith Lee.
As opposed to Lee just catching it.
You're used to Lee just catching somebody and just either power bombing him or just letting somebody drop kick him or whatever the fuck ever. But no, Balor took him out for a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly wowed by most of this match. I've got several notes from the end, but let's see. Balor kicks Johnny down, who was going for the one final beat, but he jumps up and he kicks him, and then this is where he does that over the top rope con hilo to Lee, who actually takes it instead of catching him. Gets back in the ring, hits a sling blade, and sets up in the corner, but with the guns out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where Lee emerges. He brings back the spot.
Such a great spot. So simplistic.
We see some more match. Balor wears Lee down with a sleeper hold. And then Johnny Gargano comes up and super kicks. I don't know which one he super kicked. It might have been both of them with one shot. I don't know. But he super kicks them both down and then hits the one final beat to Balor, but only gets a near fall. And then Balor catches Gargano doing a Sudacita outside, catches him, sets him up for the 1916, and as soon as he picks him up, Lee pounces both of them. That was awesome. See, back in the ring, Lee hits a pop-up power bomb, but takes it over to the buckle where he's already got Finn Balor draped over the top turnbuckle, and power bombs Johnny Gargano into Balor, and then... let's see. He hits the big black cock onto Johnny Gargano. And when he goes to pin him, he lays back on him, and he's looking up, and he can see Balor come off the ropes with the coup de grace, and he lifts up at 3, so Balor hits the coup de grace.
Right to the black heart of Johnny Gargano.
On the Gargano, Lee gets up, picks up Balor right into the BBC. 1, 2, 3. Keith Lee retains the North American Championship, and... moves on to Adam Cole in 2 weeks at Great American Bash at the Beach Part 2. Part 2.
Adam Cole comes out and conveniently made graphic already there, and
they're on the right sides too. We get to see them holding up their titles in front of the graphic that shows them wood on wood.
Just reconfirming this shit is going down.
Yeah. So we get 1 week for build-up.
But now I cannot get excited about that match.
Because you know it's going to end in a DQ.
It's going to end in fuckery. You can't take the belt off of Lee, and you can't take the belt off of Cole. I should have seen this coming.
But you can fuck with the match so neither loses their belt.
Mm-hmm.
That, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the main event. And here on What's NXT, we like to rate the main event using the General's original ass 5-star rating system. Jerry, out of 5, where do you rate this main event?
Oh, it was okay. But at the same time, I'm gonna have to go with a 3 on it. And even then, like this whole disheartening thing about knowing that the next match can end in fuckery, I'm gonna actually deduct another quarter off it, so 2 3/4.
No extra quarter off of a good show? Or a great show, sorry, great show.
It wasn't a great show. It was a good show to set up for another possibly great show this next time. I thought this show was going to be great.
The show was underwhelming, slightly disappointing. I agree there should be no extra quarter. I do not agree with the rating of the match, though. I thought this was pretty good. I feel like I can't be as harsh on it as I might because I know there's a bias with being underwhelmed. I was expecting more out of this match.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I got was underwhelming but still good. So I want to give it 3 1/4. I feel like they did pretty well.
Yeah. Well, it was a Finn Balor match, so it's one of these things. So yeah, I'll go ahead and bump it back up to an even 3 because we met him in Toronto and he was cool.
Yeah, that's where we got this pick when we met him in Toronto that one time.
His last WWE match.
Yep.
Got sent packing by the Fiend.
So let's see. Nate Spain gives it a 3.75.
Wow.
3 3/4. Colin agrees with you. He's going 3 even for all. Yeah, I 3 1/4 I think is pretty generous. I think Nate Spain is ridiculously generous, but he might have seen some stuff in this match. He might not have been let down by this match. But
well, the amount of talent that was in the ring.
Yeah, this should have been. Okay, the first negative sign was when we paused it to see how much time was left when Keith Lee came out.
Yeah.
So at the top of the entrance ramp, there was there was a minute run over on the show, but that might have just been the recording.
So roughly about a half hour.
There was about 23 minutes left when he was coming out. So we're like, this match is maybe 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 20 minutes. And that was the first negative sign. That these 3 dudes would put on a triple threat match that was only going to be 20 minutes. Because you know half of it is going to be the warm build-up.
Mm-hmm. It was going to be the warm build-up and then the explosion out of the big black hawk.
It was more like you know, the warm build-up to a microwave meal that comes out that's still mildly frozen in the middle. So yeah, disappointing. But I mean, there's always next week.
But it's the middle ground. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. So
they can't all be great. We've had these before. We should have known last week when we were so super hyped for this show. We should have known. Should have known. But it's all right. It's not bad. So thank God for that. That brings us to the end of What's NXT. Thank you for joining us. Please join us next week. We might be doing something tomorrow. Join us for that. If you click that bell icon down there. Anytime we go live, it'll let you know. It'll tell your phone will tell you. And if you click your notification button, it'll take you right to us.
Mm-hmm.
So you can join us in the chat with 5 other people. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're kind of thinking about putting somebody up on this big screen. See all of this blinky stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened. This whole Infinite Us's started out as such a cool idea, but I don't know if it's the angle of the TV with the video camera.
It could also be the feed from the
Yeah, you know, we're doing all the green screen background with all that shit. So I'm thinking maybe this has worn out its welcome.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's time to upgrade, especially since we don't have the NXT party going on.
Right we don't have the NXT party. We can't have guests on every week, so maybe we should have guests on this show.
Might as well.
If you'd like to review NXT with us, join us in the morning on Thursday. We do this every morning about 8:30.
About 8:30.
So you can find us on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, or you can leave us a comment down below with a way that we can get a hold of you, and we'll get you on the screen, put you in the chat room, give you a nickname, or let you pick your own. We are gracious about that. We don't want to give you a nickname you don't like. Other than that, find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan, Stefan, or at Stefan R. Osborne, Osborne. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman, cunt bomb, fuck bomb, shit bomb, curse bomb. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
At Gerald_JSJ, my Facebook group RBAR, all capital ARMBAR.
Exclamation point.
Got the t-shirt over at Teesprings under the Great Cherry brand. And also we have the Aftermatch Wrestling Facebook group that I run. And then we have the Cleaver Colin Andrew runs Aftermatch_wrestling on Instagram and Aftermatch Rest on Twitter, where we take the ling out of wrestling.
Whatever the fuck that means.
You can also find him on Instagram.
Osborne.Stefan.
And me on Instagram under the_gentleman_slaughter. I am really, really ridiculously good at making handles on the internet.
Yeah, I believe he actually does stuff on Instagram. I do not. It's all
I don't have the app anymore, but every now and then I'll check in.
For me, it's a joke, or it's just funny. I don't have any content at all. I don't share. I don't retweet. I don't like. I do stuff on Twitter. I don't know what they call it on Instagram, but I don't post anything. I don't gram nothing. I don't gram nothing.
I somehow doubt that.
So, if you follow me, it's just to help me be funny about having a ton of followers with no content. If you think that's funny, then follow me. Otherwise, I don't clog your newsfeed.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. If you'd like to help the channel, we have a Patreon at Stefan R. Osborne. Or if you just have a few seconds, the best way to help us out is a few clicks. Just here and there. If you like the show, click the like button over here underneath me. If you like all of our shows, click the subscribe button over there underneath the cap Jerry just dropped. That will let your phone know to tell you that our shows are out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you're like me and subscribe to a bunch of different channels, like, shit gets lost.
Mm-hmm. It'll straight up come up on your screen and be like, hey, those guys are on TV. You should watch them.
What's funny is there's a lot of popular channels that I don't even subscribe to. I'll just watch one video, and then I'll get on YouTube, and they will recommend, like, all of their videos to me. And I'm like, what about the, channels I subscribe to that definitely have new content right now? Where is that being recommended?
I was starting to scroll through our old stuff, like when we started doing cutaways and, like, the cold opens. We were much, much better then.
So, if you agree with me and you think that YouTube is hiding our content from you, that bell icon will help you there as well, because you got to get rid of the notification. So the notification will at least let you know when the video goes up. That way, if YouTube buries it, you can look for it.
And you can at least like it, and that way it saves into your library. And there you go.
Yep. And if you want to help our channel grow, the best way to do so is to click the share button over here somewhere.
Just print out our labels, put us on fortune cookies or regular cookies or brownies. I want a brownie. I want a bake sale.
So share us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and copy that link. You can send it to whoever.
Mm-hmm.
If they like to watch wrestling, they might like to watch us bullshit about the show.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Cleaver says dibs for next week.
Sure. All right.
Love to have you.
We got the Cleaver.
Technically, our first guest was the Meech. I would love to have Colin be our second guest, and then just go from there. And Cleaver says, I could see Adam Cole winning both titles if there isn't shenanigans and Keith Lee heading up. Oh, Nate Spain agreed. He said, yeah, he was way too generous, but he liked it.
To each their own.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of this episode of... Well, that already... Yeah, okay. That brings us to the end of the plugs.
Yeah, that's the end of the show.
I'm off my game today for the General Jerry Slaughter. I'm the Wizard, Stefan Osborne. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in NXT time. Yeah, bye, everybody.